It's me!
Veille numéro.
Among Us.
Barry.
Howdy everyone. It's the morning. I was gonna say, hey, it might be a short stream because a contract is meant to be coming later today to, sorry, I just noticed a pin loose. Coming later today to fix a laundry door that's been broken since we moved in. Which, funny story, every time we've had an inspection, the building manager has gone, huh, the laundry door's broken. I'm like, yep. He's like, how long has that been happening? I said, since we moved in. He's like, oh, well, we'll get that fixed. This time he actually did get around to doing it. We don't mind, it's not a big thing. It's not like it really affects us. But just as I was about to hit starting stream, he turned up. So now I can stream unhindered while these tanukis eat some delicious pineapple. Look at these raccoons. Lovely. You love to see it. Anyway, I have some balls. Also, Lewd Lime, thanks for 64 bits. Congrats. Mario RNG 5 days in a row on the first try. I'm not jinxing that or rigging it, I promise. How I wish pine salt tastes like that. Alright, here we go. Numbers 1 to 10. I'm swelling. I hope you have your number ready. Sharks breathe by a process called ram ventilation where they continue to push water through their guts. Yes, which is why if sharks stop swimming, they die. It's a 2. A 2. Hope you like a 2. I like 1, but 2. Sorry, I'm currently... So you know how, like, you go... each subculture on on TikTok has its own like name, like Book Talk and all that. I'm currently on Scottish Chippy Talk. Where it's like owners of fish and chip shops in Scotland being like, oh, welcome to our establishment. We've got this tonight. We've got deep fried pizza. We've got hamburgers. We've got haggis. Deep fried Mars bars. And it's great. And I'm like, man, you know what? If I ever retire, that's what I want to do late in life. I want to own a fish and chip shop. That's what I want to do late in life. Like, that's the end goal of my life. Is to own a fish and chip shop. I feel like that'd be so much fun. Well, obviously it'd be stressful, but like, it'd be rewarding. Hey Viz, how you doing? Alright.
He's back.
am back. So is Toggle, he's up here. He's having fun. So, I did do a little bit of work. I don't know, man. Recently I've been trying my hardest to fucking sleep and get better. Different kind of stress, I imagine. Exactly. Hang on. I should show you all. I should show you all Pokemon Sleep. Because I use, so ever since like 2020, I've been using a sleep app to just track my sleep. It's all like, you know, you should do this to get, it's like, it's literally just to track my sleep so I can keep track of A, how much I'm actually sleeping, because I'm terrible at remembering, and B, track trends based on my sleep, because 2020, after I caught Epstein-Barr virus, my sleep changed, but then it was like, hey, Pokemon Sleep is out, and in beta, and if you're in Australia, Argentina, Canada, or the not United States don't get it, Australia, Argentina, or New Zealand, I think Canada as well, you get access to the beta. And so I was like, sure, fuck it. It's literally just another sleep tracking app, but it's Pokemon. That's literally all it is. It's just a sleep tracking app that tracks when you sleep, gives you advice of like, hey, this is how much you should be sleeping. These are based on your trends, like how much you're in REM sleep. That's literally all it is, just with a Pokemon skin and bells and whistles and a battle pass. It's also kind of an idle game. Like, the way it works is, you have, hang on, this music's too intense. So you have Snorlax here, and then when you sleep, you like find Pokemon that sleep around him. And like, but you also have Pikachu, who you can name whatever you want. I wanted to call my Pikachu Sick Cunt, but they wouldn't let me, so I called him Turgle. I woke up this morning to a Charmander. You can't really see it. Yeah, there we go. A Charmander sleeping. It's pretty cute. Hang on. If I go... Pokemon box? Oh. Okay. I wanted to see the 1984. Battle Pass? Is there a Lucid Dream Challenge? Yeah, there is a Battle Pass. I'm trying to see, how do I get to the fucking Sleep Decks? Okay, so there's a thing called the Sleep Style Decks, which, like, every Pokemon sleeps in different ways, and so, like, every time you see them, they might be sleeping a different way. So here's Charmander, and here's one of Charmander's sleeping ways. He's curled up like that. It's cute. I got two of a certain Pokemon last night. I saw this and was like, what the fuck is this Pokemon? It's just a pile of rocks. It's a Diglett. It's a Diglett underwater. Underwater? Underground. and then I also got above ground sleeping Diglett. He's having a little snooze. Having a little snooze. What were the other Pokemon I got? Oh yeah, I got Wobbuffet. One where he's hiding his tail. Or she, sorry. It was a female Wobbuffet. She was hiding her tail under her back. Also, it's got some relaxing music. And a slack off, which slept exactly how you think it would. Its eyes shut. That's all. I wish it wasn't. I imagine hoovering up absurd amounts of pedal data. So one of the things I'm actually very happy they say up front is that the data doesn't actually get stored on a server. It's only stored on your phone. They say, straight up say like, hey, we need access to your microphone in order to record you sleeping, in order to hear, you know, your snoring, if you're talking during your sleep, your breathing, all of that. It is not sent and stored on a server. It is only stored on your device, which, hey, that's nice. Wait, what's this? Notes? Oh yeah, there's like berries and shit and like a cooking thing. It's really weird. Hang on. Also, you can feed your Snorlax breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've already fed him breakfast, but here, I'll show you the sleep pass. So, you get the regular pass, which means you get 1 sleep point for each point earned in your sleep score. So my sleep score was 79 points. Even though it said it was 81, but then it was like, actually it's 79. I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, I can exchange the points for things. Let's see in the regular exchange, because I don't have the battle pass. You can get biscuits, which if you give biscuits to the sleeping Pokemon that join you, they'll become your friends, and they'll stick around, which is why Charmander is there, because the tutorial was like, give Charmander biscuits, you fucking bitch. I don't know what the rest of these items do. Whistles, pillows, incense, linking cord, stones, I assume to evolve Pokemon. You can evolve Pokemon, I guess. Let's check the premium exchange, which I can't access because I don't have... you can get candies, skill seeds, and then cheaper biscuits. What's in the general store? Release celebration bundle, 600 diamonds. Dream clusters, I think that boosts how many points you get or something. Diamonds, here you go. Here's the fucking costs. This will be in Australian. 7,000 diamonds for $150. Is it in Australian or US? Usually it's put in... Oh, I can't buy it. I just wanted to see if it was American or Australian. So the premium pass you get a 2-week trial of. You get unlimited sleep data records and statistics. I don't know what the limit is. Oh, with a regular pass, you can only view your data from the past 30 days. Which, daily bonus biscuit has been upgraded to a premium biscuit. A premium bonus biscuit increases the friendship points by 4 instead of 3, which is the regular one. Receive a bonus 100 sleep points each day that you track sleep. So that's basically double your points because you get a maximum of 100 when you sleep. You gain access to the premium exchange. Monthly gifts of a good camp ticket and 1,000 sleep points. I don't know what camp. Lavish rewards every 3 months. Every 3 months that you stay subscribed to the premium pass, you'll get a Handy Candy L, a Sub-Skill Seed, and a Dream Cluster M. The no-cost trial period does not count towards your streak. Unlock a diary where you can write notes on your sleep. You can write all sorts of things in a diary along with your sleep data. Try to jot down observations and things you noticed about your sleep, how you felt when you woke up, and more. You can use up to 200 characters when writing entries in your sleep journey. I can't even see how much the pass costs because it's still in beta. But anyway, that's Pokemon Sleep. That's fucking hilarious to me. Oh, it's so dumb. I love it. Ba, 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 ba. I mean, Pokemon Sleep. I'll do it later. I've already closed the app. Okay, so credits. I was crediting. Yeah, OGHTN. It's very dumb. Do I get it? Honestly, if you don't already have a sleeping app, I think it's a very neat idea to get, to encourage people to record their sleep, because I think recording your sleep is a very useful thing to do to A, figure out if you have early signs of sleep apnea, or B, figure out if there's any problems with your sleep. Because if you're waking up tired, there may actually be a problem with your sleep, and then you can figure out from there what is going on. Be it you're not hitting REM sleep, be it you're a very easily woken person, be it you talk in your sleep. You might want to know what you're talking about, even though, trust me, as someone who does occasionally talk in his sleep, you're not going to understand a word you're fucking saying. It's very weird. I hate you so much, Apple. Dogs hit. It is very, the whole bells and whistles, I'm not the biggest fan of it. If it was just like, you know, give biscuits to Pokemon to do this, and, you know, you can buy more biscuits, I'd be like, sure, that's fine. But like a battle pass and like, I don't know, it does feel a little bit skeevy. So if you are easily swayed by microtransactions, I'd encourage you to maybe try it for like a week. If you like the concept but you don't like the microtransactions, just download a free sleep tracker. I have one on Android that I've been using for like 3 years now, called, I think it's just called Android Sleep. Sleep as Android, and it's really useful. It gives you so much information, like REM, how long you've slept, how much you were in deep sleep, your regularity of sleeping, how much of your sleep was efficient, and also records how much noise there was through the night. I had 2 hours last night. Jesus, 7 hours in bed. Yikes. You can also set goals to be like, hey, I want to improve how long I sleep. I want to improve the consistency of when I go to sleep, and it'll help you with that. No, it's really great. And the best part is it's free. You can basically buy I think you can buy a premium version of like $2, and all it does is just give you access to more data, and that's it. But it's not $2 every month. It's just $2. It's like, yeah, that's helpful. Yeah. Crediting. So I've already done the GDQ clips. I had to do a custom thing for it. Like, it's legal, but I still feel like a weirdo. Plus, you don't want to become dependent on it. It's odd. It can be very bad to get a dependency like that. People don't get I'm saying Frank's Reddit's code for something is legal in some places, but all in places of Twitch offers. The devil's lettuce. Mary Jane. Spider-Man. Spider-Man? I'm seeing at 2 a.m. to weed, staying with my aunt and uncle who are very old and creaking up the stairs and open 2 squeaky doors. Yeah. It's like, I completely get it. It's like, it's legal, but there are people still have hang-ups and like judgments about it. Like, oh, it's legal now, but you wouldn't take it because, you know, you're not one of those people. Want to read what Spider-Verse so bad? It was so good. Across the Spider-Verse was so good. I'm so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse in like 2025, 26. It's so fucking good. It's still in theaters, Shiv. You can just go today. Fuck it. Just go down today and watch it. It's totally coming out in March. It is. I wish it was, but Jesus, no. It's unfair to Guardians 3 that I watch it right after Spider-Man. Yeah. It's unfair to Guardians that like, cause like the thing is, Guardians was a good movie. It's a really good movie. It's every other movie pales in comparison to Spider-Man. Like, you can't just you can't. Oh. And like, I really like Guardians 3. I really, really like it. I especially like that Matt, when it was in theaters, people were walking out of the cinema at a very certain point because they're like, man, this is a bit too intense for me. And every time it's the same fucking scene. It's like, if you've watched the movie, you kind of know what scene it is, where it's like, man, this is a bit, this is a lot more, detailed and gruesome than I thought it would be. Gonna get that haircut. I'm glad it's the final MCU movie. They may never make an MCU movie again. I mean, part of me is like, I kind of really want the Young Avengers because I really like some of the characters and the actors that they're definitely getting for it. And like, it's very clear that they're heading for Young Avengers or whatever it's called. It's so clear that that's what they're going for. There's like the whole Kang Dynasty thing is up in the fucking air now because of the whole Jonathan Majors situation. It's just like, yikes. What do we do now? I was like, I don't know, man. I have no real investment in it. Like, I have no investment in the MCU. I haven't for a very long time. After Endgame, I was like, okay, I'm good. I don't mind. And then it was like, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm like, this is great. This is a lot of fun. I like this. And then it's just like, I don't remember any other MCU movie that came after that, except for Ant-Man Quantumania, which was hilariously bad. It was so bad that that the trailer had a better story than the movie did. The trailer completely misconstrues what that movie is about. And it's terrible because the trailer has a better story. It depicts a better story, which is so bad for your movie. No, everything's got to be live action, Shiv, because it's cheaper. And because no one likes animation. That's why after Across the Spider-Verse was such a hit, they're now making live action Spider-Verse stuff. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. I'm excited for the Marvels. I'm excited for the Marvels too. I'm not getting my hopes up in like oh, it's gonna be so great, but I'm like, I'm gonna have fun with that because I fucking love Miss Marvel. I loved the miniseries. I thought it was really great. And I like Captain Marvel as a character. Deadpool. I have never watched Deadpool. I don't like Deadpool as a character. I think Deadpool is funny as a side character. I don't like him as a main character. I've watched like so many scenes from Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, and I'm like, I really don't get why this is so popular. I'm like, for Deadpool 3, they're like, oh, we're bringing, you know, we're bringing Hugh Jackman back after he said he wasn't coming back. And we're bringing, you know, Jennifer Gardner back to play Elektra. Remember that? And it's like, oh, I can see the scenes now. It's like, haha, weren't you in a bad Marvel movie? And it's like, when I was around, the MCU wasn't even a thing. Ha 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 ha. And it's like, oh, go practice to some Evanescence, Elektra, you emo. I don't know. Deadpool's self-awareness is only funny when he's a crutch, not when he's the main fucking character. It gets old after like a minute. Remember the Deadpool game? Remember the Deadpool game and how weird that was? Where it's like, you know, it's a game about us making the Deadpool game. Get it? Any chance that Disney is pushing live action due to copyright? I mean, that's part of the reason why they're pushing like Beauty and the Beast and all that, is to continue the copyright. But the main reason is it makes a shit ton of money. Like Beauty and the Beast, every Disney live action remake has been terrible. And I'm including The Lion King in that, even though it's not live action. But everyone keeps saying it's live action. It's not live action. It's a fucking animation. Ugh. It's not live action. Stop saying it's live action. Love the fucking God. No part of it was live action. Pete's right. Well, there are Disney live action movies that are good, but Disney live action remakes are not good. You seen how desaturated the Little fucking Mermaid looks? I have no care in the world for the Little Mermaid remake. I'm like, the character designs look terrible. The only good thing about it is that Ariel looks good. It's a shame the movie desaturates her and puts her in like darkness for most of the movie. And it's like, oh, well, you know, that's what it's like underwater. It's more realistic. And it's like, oh, okay, so we're going realism with the movie about a mermaid that talks and, you know, turns herself into a human at the behest of her lobster friend. Oh, okay. Cool. That is fucking... I'm so done. I know I've been done with Disney for a long time. Realism sucks, actually. You know what's better than realism? Stylization. I'm glad video games are slowly starting to get that. AAA games still need a little bit of time to course correct, but indie games are definitely getting it. Who goes to the movies for realism? I have no idea. I really don't get it. I don't get how The Lion King made $1 billion. I don't understand how The Little Mermaid made a lot of money. It's like, I understand why they made money. Because it's like, A, it's a Disney movie. B, brand recognition of, hey, I remember The Lion King. I remember The Little Mermaid. C, kids are going to watch a Disney movie no matter what. And parents are going to take kids to a Disney movie because, oh, thank God, a new Disney movie. Maybe my child will shut up for 2 hours. And I just... But it's like $1 billion? Really? People enjoyed that so much? Really? I just don't get it. It's like, I guess I'm in the minority here. It's like, I guess people do want soulless garbage. Like, sure. So long as I keep getting, you know... As long as I'm still able to see Asteroid City in a few weeks. And Fleabag this weekend, actually. We've got Fleabag this weekend. That'll be good. Oh, good shift. I literally recommended a comedy to someone today and they had no idea it came out 20 years ago. Yeah. Blue sharks are really, really blue. They are really blue. I don't know why. Also, I'm very surprised at the lack of like outcry from my dig at the Super Mario Brothers movie in the highlights video. I think I only saw 2 people be like, wow, what a, like, ouch, I guess. I never really paid attention to Okami. I don't know why it never grabbed me. I think maybe Issen being a weird pervert is part of it. Yeah, isn't there Okami HD? But who did it better? Oh god. Yeah. 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 If you haven't watched YMS's Lion King thing, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 did it way better. I haven't seen YMS's thing about the Lion King. Part 1 of it is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. And the best part about it is while he was making this, he had a whole section about the whole Kimber debacle. I was like, this is getting too big to be in the video, so it has to be its own thing. Which okay, I feel I kind of want to say something about this. I have this big gripe with YouTube essayists nowadays, in that people think long video mean good. Just because videos shouldn't be long. They shouldn't be really long unless they justify it by having a shitload of actual important information that is needed to prove a point. My headset just died. I think karma is coming at me for complaining about things. Like, I don't know. This is 2.5 hours that is proving a point of Lion King did not copy Kimber, and it is evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence. Every little bit is part of this weave of fabric that proves the hypothesis of the... It's like people forget that the point of video essay is that it's an essay, and an essay has a point. Like, there is a point. Like, what are you trying to say? And I've seen so many long essays where it's like, the video is long not because it needs to be long, because they have a lot of things to say to prove their point, but because they're just rambling. Like, either they're rambling and they're like, oh, blah, 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 and they take, 5 minutes to get to a point that should have taken 10 seconds, or they're taking 5 minutes to just say things about the thing they're talking about, and it's like, why are you saying this? What's the point of this? It's like, oh, I just wanted to talk about it. And it's like, so this isn't an essay, it's just, I just want to talk about this thing, and not in a, it's, it's amazing, and, because of these reasons, it's just, I like this thing, I'm just going to tell you everything about this thing, and maybe go a little bit into it. And I'm like, man, this you need to edit this down. Like, if you're making a video essay, the first thing you should ask yourself is, what am I trying to say with this? What am I trying to say with this? I don't know. It's so frustrating to me. But obviously some people are like, no, it's great. And I'm like, is it great because you actually enjoy the content, or because you like having something on that's long in the background while you're working? Yeah, I'm writing an essay. My streams are actually a video essay. Did you know? My streams are a video essay. Don't even get me started on like commentary YouTubers who over edit their videos, but don't cut them down. There are a few fucking YouTubers who have like hour-long videos on topics that don't need an hour, and it's like it takes them 20 minutes to be like, oh well, today we're going to talk about this. Now before we get started, I should say blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's get started talking about this. So it all started when, and it's like with like a million different effects and shit, and like so many animations where it's like, what are you doing? Like, I get, like, you're over editing this to hell and back. Like, I'm not saying don't use animations and like effects and shit, but like, holy crap, you don't need it's literally just jangling keys in front of a baby. It's so annoying. Oh. And yet, if you're wondering, this mainly is sparked in my mind, and like, it's been in my mind for a long time, but this was mainly sparked because I was like, hey, I like Cruelty Squad, and I know Paracynical has come out with a new video on Cruelty Squad. It's 3.5 hours long. I'll watch it. There is no point to that video. I would like to say it's a good video, but it's not. It's not even like, Cruelty Squad is great because of this. It's just like, I like Cruelty Squad. Here's a description of everything in Cruelty Squad, and also a tier list ranking of items and enemies and stuff for some reason. And I'm like, why? What's the point to this? And it's like, there are snippets where it's like, oh, great. He's getting into like, he's describing these. Like, hey, if you wonder why this was like this, it's because of this. I'm like, good. This is what the video should be about. This, you know, going into the endings, diving into, you know, you think it's really good because it has all this symbolism, what all this symbolism means and how it ties together. There's a video. That's like 20 minutes in the 3.5 hours. The rest of it is just, here, okay, you start at this level, you go here, you get this weapon, and this weapon does this, and, you know, it's an S because of this, these enemies, and these enemies are hard because of this, and it's like, so much of it, it's just like, why are you saying this? You just want to talk about this game? That's it. You're not saying anything. It's like, then this should be a stream, my dude. But this is, I don't know. It's my opinion. It's not me saying, you know, everyone should be doing this, because clearly people like that sort of thing. Clearly people like that sort of thing. I personally do not like watching video essays that are not actually video essays. They are just long, rambly videos where people are just rambling about why they like a certain thing and not going into detail of like, not even describing why they actually like it, but just sort of saying everything that is in the thing. That's why I avoid most video essays nowadays. 2-hour-long videos on theories that don't really have any basis. I avoid so many. I avoid so many YouTube channels nowadays because video essays are the big thing right now. They're the big thing of everyone making it, and like most of the time, I'm just like, no. I might give one a try if they constantly pop up in my recommended, but every time I do, it's a mistake. Because the last time I did was the time, I forget their name, but it was one of those big ones. One of those big ones who does like, you know, the big YouTuber drama and that sort of thing of like the history of this YouTuber. And I was like, man, what is the point of this? Like, you're not styling this as a documentary, like a Summoning Salt or a Down the Rabbit Hole, where it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you the history of this thing, this whole event on the internet, or this whole YouTuber's career. It's not that. It's, I'm going to talk about this piece of drama with this YouTuber, and I'm going to over edit the shit out of it and take a million years to say anything. Hire editors. And not just video editors, but script editors. You need script editors. Was it ContraPoints or Lindsay Ellis? No, they're actually good at their points. Because, you know, they know how to write essays. ContraPoints gets a little bit, I don't want to say distracted, but she does have this tendency, especially nowadays, to be self-aware about her bits. And that requires, like, it's like she's so self-aware about it that she makes bits that are about her self-awareness. And it's like, this feels like it doesn't really gel as well with the video. But it's like, it's a small part of a large thing. Have you watched Quentin Reviews stuff? I think I tried watching one Quentin Reviews thing and I was like, this seems well made, but I'm not really a fan of this, like, his style. Like, he seems like he knows what he's doing, and it seems like he is actually trying to make both documentarian style work of like, hey, I'm going to tell you the whole history of this thing, plus, you know, essay style work of like, hey, this is all this sort of stuff. But I'm like, I'm not really a fan of his humor. It was the kind of thing where it's like, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I'm like, eh. So that's me shitting on the things that everyone likes. Remember which video? I do not remember. It was a while ago. I think I tried watching the iCarly one, but the problem for me is and this is completely a personal problem. I really don't like content where it's someone talking about, it's really weirdly specific. I don't like content where someone talks about like Nickelodeon and Disney shows, specifically Americans, from a perspective of this was our childhood. I don't know why, but that really annoys me because it's like, it wasn't my childhood. It's like, please stop saying it as if this is a universal experience, because no, I never watched most of this because I was poor and did not have cable TV and could not watch, you know, the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. I got the scraps that we were given on Saturday Disney on Free View. That's not YouTubers shouldn't talk about this from like that sort of perspective. This one's completely like, this is a me problem. This is a me problem. Everybody Matters lives in America. Yeah. It was about like 10 years before these YouTubers and was before internet of cable, especially in the US channels, and like, you punk kids. Should just lived in America. Oh, of course, you're right. Parents wouldn't let us watch most cartoon TV aside from PBS. All this cable cartoon stuff is completely foreign to me. Understandable. I only managed to watch like, I want to say like 5 episodes of SpongeBob in my life. And like 2 of them were at a hotel and the 3 of them were at a friend's place because my friend had enough money to get Foxtel, which is our version of cable. I get that viewpoint too. A lot of Americans can be very blind to other countries. Yeah, I honestly think that's probably where it comes from. Is like, I don't want to say I'm sensitive to that sort of thing, but it's like, it's not really a sensitivity of like, oh man, this upsets me, but more like, I'm very tired of like, because like, I don't want to be like, Americans think that America is the center of the world, because that's really rude and not entirely true. But stuff like that really feels like that. But it's funny to me because like Americans have like, you know, oh yeah, Drake and Josh, remember watching that? But then like Australians, Canadians, and Southeast Asians would be like, hey, remember this one cartoon? And all of us would be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Because Australia, Canada, and a lot of Southeast Asia had like programming contracts where they'd share a lot of their, you know, shows together. So like if if I'm like, oh, I remember this cartoon from my, yeah, licensing overlaps, yeah. I'd be like, I remember this cartoon from my childhood. It's very likely that it was also the childhood of someone from Canada and Southeast Asia, which is hilarious to me. Seen you and Viz talk about cartoons I've never heard of. Yeah, yeah. I think South Asia also got a lot of English anime dubs that never made it to one of the English-speaking countries. Most likely. It is Street Fighter 6, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I should double check that it's spelled like that. Yeah, it is. That's I also have this weird this one is completely a like, come on, really? But I refuse to listen to anyone talk as an authority on Doctor Who if they're American. Like, I clicked on a video the other day because I was like, okay, what's in this video? And it was like getting into some like really weird info that a lot of people do not know about Doctor Who. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's about this. And then I heard an American accent. And I'm like, no, buddy, you don't get to talk about this. I'm like, that's a really dick thing. I was like, that's a really dick elitist thing to think. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I don't know why, but it's just like, it's like if I see an American like chat about it on text, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But the second I hear an American accent talk about, like, second I hear it, like, Doctor Who, I'm like, fucking shut up. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. It's so weird to me. It's like fight or flight response whenever I hear an American say anything about Doctor Who with their voice. Oh, it's so fucking funny to me. Which, like, completely is not fair, because America also got Doctor Who, like, classic Doctor Who growing up. It's not like, you know, someone in America has less experience with Doctor Who, and, you know, obviously they wouldn't know as much as, you know, the English or Australians, or heavens forbid, the Germans or French. Not that the French ever liked Doctor Who. I still love that when they filmed abroad in France in, I want to say it was 78 or 79, they were prepared. They were like, oh god, should we like prepare for like people to come up and like ruin shoots because like, oh my god, I want your autograph. No one in France gave a shit. They did not know about Doctor Who. They were like, who the fuck's that? Which I fucking love. Would you like to hear an original song and musician I've wrote for Doctor Who? Hell yeah. Go for it. If it reminds me of things that I used to listen to, I will cringe and close the tab. Oh, I'm spicy today. We only really got classic Doctor Who through PBS specials. Yeah, I mean, we had a relationship with the BBC, so we I believe Australia started getting it in the late 60s. I know we definitely had it in the 70s. But part of the reason we've been able to save so many episodes is because all the countries that they sent it to kept recordings. Thank God for Singapore, let me just say. Singapore have saved so many episodes. Listen, but America got the Doctor Who movie where the Doctor gets shot in a gang war. Fun fact, that was a backdoor pilot to an American-produced series of Doctor Who, which I still do not know how that would have gone, because it would, from everything they've said about it, what it would have been like, it was like, we want to do this, but every single like exec was like, you got to dumb it down. Like you got to get rid of all this backstory and lore and stuff. Like it's got to be a fresh new thing, and it's like this completely new thing for Americans. I'm like, this would have been fucking awful. It was so weird. I listened to a little bit of this. There's been a bit about that in Community. Oh my god. Community is one of those shows that I've only watched a few episodes of, and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty nice. I like this. I should watch more of it, and I just never have. I think it's because I accidentally watched the best episode, like, first. the paintball episode. Like, this is fucking great. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. I'll just turn it down here. I didn't see the lyric. Oh man,
Save us from Fox News.
you can tell exactly when this was written.
Save us from
I-
Justin Bieber.
Oh god, am I really gonna get into this?
Save us from Wall Street.
Oh god. Oh fuck. I understand why the American version of Shameless is so popular. The American version of a lot of shows is very weird to me, like Douglas. I understand the American Office, but like Kathy Kim and all that. It's like, I don't know why they plan American versions of a lot of things. Oh man, I hate this so much. I remember a genre of, I think it was around 2010, like 2008 to 2010, maybe a little bit after, because that was when it was getting big in America, was when people started making Doctor Who songs, like actual songs. Oh god, I remember it, because it was like all this shit. I don't know if anyone else remember this. Remember the American IT crowd? I remember that shit. What are the comments on this? Oh yeah, it has like YouTube in it, so you can see the old YouTube layout. Well, that makes me feel old. Also, 2009. 14 years ago. Ugh. 14 years? Uh, 14 years? Holy shit. 14 years. Yeah, there you go. Old fucking YouTube layout. Remember that? Ugh. Sorry, I'm still trying to process that was 14 years ago. I understand the American channels so much British version of viewed in British poverty, if you get my meaning. Yeah.
Oh, this is just the Yakuza side.
I'm dying, Squirtle. I am. I really am. I'm in pain. I'm in Spain without the I. Yeah, anyway, that's why I don't like most video essays. To wrap it back around. Boom, boom, boom. You're in Span? Absolutely. I own both Chameleon Circuit albums. Oh my god. I want to say I wanted to buy them, but 14 years ago. Oh yeah, I wanted to, but I couldn't. How many essays can you write in one stream? 2. 3. 2. Yes, she did. Ba-do-do-do. Do-do. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, I'm very excited for the Wimbledon Grand Final, where we'll definitely be getting a Doctor Who trailer. We're definitely going to be getting a trailer then. I'm going to keep saying it until it becomes real. Because I want those fucking air dates. Tell me when you're fucking airing the specials. I gotta fucking know! I hope new Doctor Who is good. Everything I've seen of it seems to imply it will be. I mean, it's Russell T Davies again. Oh, and I do like that more is kind of coming out about the behind the scenes of the Chibnall era, where it's like kind of proving that like, yeah, it was not good. It was kind of a nightmare. Bit of a nightmare behind the scenes. Russell T Davies again. Yep, he's back. And everyone's like, why is he back? And it's like, because if he didn't, he wanted to come. Actually, it's a domino effect, basically. If COVID never happened, we would actually have no Doctor Who right now. Because the BBC were allegedly fully ready to just axe Doctor Who. But then Russell T Davies was like, because during COVID, they had... Why didn't this move it? What? Okay, it only did the opacity. I guess I'll just have to do that myself again. Or not, because fuck that. Oh yeah, they were doing lockdown rewatches of Doctor Who. And they managed to get Russell T Davies to join in on a few of them. And he was like, oh, you know, I should find, like, look around, see if I find any old scripts or anything. He found an old script. Big Finish were like, gimme. They made it into an episode. It's a pretty neat one. You can very clearly see, like, the origins of a lot of his style of writing in it. Like, you know, big stakes, but actually the emotional core isn't, you know, the Doctor defeats the alien, it's humans connecting. Which is a big through line in a lot of Russell T Davies' work. But Premier's Frozen. But while they were doing that, Russell T Davies, David Tennant and Catherine Tate were like, man, it was a lot of fun. I want to do it again. Like, not for a long time. Like, maybe, you know, see if we can come back and do a special or something. And the BBC were just like, hey, you know what? Sure. Also, while you're here, do you want to take control of Doctor Who? Because we were fully going to just axe it. Because they allegedly were not a fan of everything that Chibnall was doing with the era. COVID was not kind to Doctor Who. It axed a lot of Flux. The 13th series, I believe, was meant to be like 11 or 12 episodes long. But because of COVID, it was cut down to 6 episodes. Legend of the Sea Devils, which is one of the worst episodes ever made, allegedly had last-minute rewrites because someone was like, hey, maybe we should have a consultant on board to write for this, so to make sure we're not being racist about Chinese culture. And in the end, the edit is just terrible. Yeah, let's do that. I honestly would love to do a deep dive and figure out what the fuck happened with that episode. Because it is so bad. I honestly am tempted to do a watch of it with everyone just to be like, you need to see how bad this fucking thing is. Like, it is bad. And not just, the story's bad, the characters are bad, but like the shot to shot and in-scene editing is really terrible. Like, really terrible. In a way that is baffling to me. Why is this not... Did it adjust things between streams? That can't be the case. This is weird. Huh. There we go, that should do. Perfect. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, we'll save this one now. I don't know why it's... Credits new overlay. Okay. Maybe the thing about Doctor Who is when they tried to air episodes on the Disney XD, which was Disney Cartoon Channel. I remember seeing the promos for that on the internet. They look very weird.
And now, breaking news that hasn't broken yet.
This is Danny with an update from the future. The super cool sci-fi series Doctor Who and the biggest Star Wars Rebels event ever.
Star Wars Rebels. Is this it?
The verdict is in.
No, this isn't it.
You heard it here first. All right. The Disney XD premiere of Doctor Who, Saturday, June 13th at 9.
Come on, where is it? Fucking... Don't tempt me to just watch the trailer again. Maybe it is in here.
Now,
We're in the Galaxy M80.
13th at 9. Watch Doctor
There it is.
When the Cybermen are attacking, who's gonna have your backing? Who's gonna save the day?
I'm like, this is so bad. But I kind of love it because it's so bad.
Saturday, June 13th at 9. Are you tired of old-fashioned tools? Introducing the Sonic Screwdriver.
It could revolutionize modern science.
you can't have this sort of technology.
It's portable.
Oh, it's so funny to me. Using American editing to advertise a British show is so funny to me. Because they have completely different styles of editing. Is that Weird Al singing? No, I wish. That'd be hilarious. It's a Weird Al knockoff. Alright, now we do this. Put that in there. Sweet. No, I can't copy that because I've put Dan Jones. Scroll past Ace Attorney. Because now it's time for Dan Jones and Dragons episode 13? 13. Do I put a colon in between? I always forget if I put a colon in. Not Dan. I need to look at the highlights videos. Yeah, I need to sell an hour-long live-action British show to an American audience on a channel that usually had 15-minute-long cartoons. Yeah, it's like you need. It's like kind of an impossible task almost. Let's check March.
This is who I am, and I think I haven't put in the work that's needed.
A little more back. A little more.
More back? Okay.
A little more.
Is there a
I do put a colon in. Always put a colon in, kids. Okay, I will. You know what? Fuck it. That's what everyone should be doing. Just from now on, just put a colon in any way you want in a sentence. Fuck it. It doesn't make sense. Do it anyway. July 21st is the most stacked than I thought. Only Barbie and Oppenheimer, Shin, Kamen Rider, and Pikmin 4 come out the same day. That's gonna be a weird fucking day. That's gonna be a great day for annoying people. Like all different types. The only way you could make it better is if like something Taylor Swift was happening that day. Then all the different types of annoying people would like have something happening that day. Yes, boss. Fuck learning how to use a colon and a semicolon. We reject your ways. I honestly, the more it gets closer, the more I'm just like, I actually have no real like desire to watch Oppenheimer, I don't think. Like, I am curious, like, what is the movie actually about? Is it literally just like he makes the bomb and then he feels sad for a bit, even though supposedly he knew the whole time that it was bad, but his ego got in the way, and then he was just like, oh, I'm the destroyer of worlds. It's like, yeah, if you listen to anyone around you who was telling you what you're doing, what will happen, it's not like you didn't know he was making a weapon. That's what he was fucking hired to do. Whereas the more I see of Barbie, the more I'm like, I actually think this is going to be very interesting to watch. Ironically, I think the Barbie movie is going to be more existentially charged than Oppenheimer. Which, man, that would be fucking depressing if I was Christopher Nolan and that was the case. Just Ken trailer raises so many new questions and possibilities, yeah. All I know about the Barbie movies, they went absolutely insane with the vivid, bright plastic colors, and when they released the first promo remake of Ken last year, said, oh, they're good, they're depicting Ken as a closet twink, he always has been. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Final Fantasy 16. I can't wait for them to get to Final Fantasy 20 so they can awkwardly put two X's next to each other. Should I put it in capitals? No, I won't put it in all capitals. Fuck that. I will use Roman numerals. A24's Australian horror movie. Talk to me tomorrow. Oh, Matt got free tickets to it and was like, oh, do you want to come as well? And I'm like, I'm working that night, so I have to try and get the night off. And I had to double check, and and it was like, okay, I can get the night off. But by the time I was going to put in for leave and get the tickets, they had sold out. So I was like, God fucking damn it. Wasn't there a rumor they're considering dropping the numbering for the next one? I have no idea. I don't do anything Final Fantasy. I have no connection to it whatsoever. Besides Kingdom Hearts, but that's all I have. I had no desire to play Final Fantasy. What is it? 16? 16. That's what it is. It's the 21st, not the 26th. Why did I put 22nd? But I've seen the combat of it, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of tempted to play it now. I might get it when it goes, like, heavy discount in a few months. Because I'm not, like, itching to play it, but I'm like, this seems like it would be pretty fun to play once or twice. I mean, I still have to play all the other Final Fantasy games anyway, so... Because I don't know if I've ever said it in a while, but I've really been wanting to, like, play through all the Final Fantasy games, because I've never... The only ones I've ever played is... I played like half of 10 when I was a child. I watched my stepbrother play Final Fantasy 12, a little bit of it. I've seen everyone talk about Final Fantasy 13. I can't stand Final Fantasy 14 because everyone keeps talking about it. And Final Fantasy 15, I've watched Let's Plays of it. Final Fantasy 7, I've watched speedruns of. And Final Fantasy 9, everyone keeps telling me is really good, so I'm trying to avoid seeing anything of it so I can play it myself one day. Can I be that guy and recommend the GBA ports of 1 and 2? Sure. Get the Lalafell account ready for him for his Final Fantasy 14 playthrough. I legit... I don't know why. I have such a, like, non-joking reaction to Lalafells. I'm just like, I really don't like them. I don't. No. No. It kind of suck. It feels weird. I think it doesn't help that, like, my first exposure to Lalafells was... I don't want to say it was... How do I put this without sounding like it was really bad? Because it wasn't really bad, but I saw it and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. It was like... Yeah, like this. No, it wasn't porn. It was like roleplay pictures, but not in porn sense. Not in a porn sense. But it was like the Lalafell acting... Like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like, you know, acting mischievous, and like, it was like images of them like sneaking up on another Lalafell. And I'm like, oh, I don't think this has any, you know, implications, but like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all, which is weird because I played Final Fantasy 14, like, I think 2016, 2017. I played it for like 2 days and I was like, man, I am playing Guild Wars 2 at the moment. And that game feels like they actually made fun combat. I was spoiled by Guild Wars 2 combat. You know what the best part about Guild Wars 2 is? You can move and attack at the same time. Fucking legendary shit. And if you move, it doesn't disrupt spells and shit. It's amazing. I don't know if Final Fantasy have finally fixed that, but back then it had that problem and I was like, it turned me off completely. Plus, I hated the UI design. I hate that fucking UI design so much. It's probably changed. Again, it's probably changed. Final Fantasy 14. But I hated that UI design. It wasn't exactly this, but it was kind of like this. It's like, I don't know, the font. It was like the font and the colors just felt so bad to me. And I get it, it's like the Final Fantasy font for these things, but I don't like the Final Fantasy font. Like this looks a lot better, so it might not be the same one. It probably was an older version. I don't know. I keep saying I should probably give Final Fantasy 14 another try, but like, I don't have time to play an MMO, man. I'd love to play more Guild Wars, but I don't have time. Guild Wars 2 is really fun. And beautiful, too. That game is fucking beautiful. And you can be a fucking plant person. Or a lion person with tits. Male presenting and female presenting. I want to change the default font on Final Fantasy 14 so much. Yeah, you can be a plant person. I wonder if I still have images of my plant person. Hang on. They were designed like back when Guild Wars 2 first came out, because I played Guild Wars 2. Oh, here he is. I played Guild Wars 2 when it first came out. Plant person? Yes. I forget whose this is. This is someone's character. I was playing Guild Wars 1 because my sister gave me a copy of Guild Wars 1 when I was younger. I was like, oh, this is really fun. And then Guild Wars 2 was coming out and I'm like, oh, I'll pre-order that. I played it. My computer couldn't run it, so I had to stop playing it. And then I picked it up years later because a friend of mine actually had... Fucking global chat. Here, I'll zoom in. And I think I hooked Deer into playing it for a little bit as well. Anyway, I saw a really cool glam for a samurai last night using samurai armor from the New Year's event and took a screenshot. My character was blinking. Now, I keep meaning to go back into Guild Wars 2 and try out a little bit and maybe change my character around. But I remember it being a lot of fun. And it let me just... Because the biggest problem with MMOs for me is I don't really like being forced to play with other people. As contradictory as that sounds, because that's the entire point of an MMO. I always feel bad in like dungeons and raids when I play them because I'm not that good. Or I think I'm not that good. And I don't know what I'm doing in them. Well, it's not... Okay, it's not that I'm not good. It's that I don't know what I'm doing in dungeons and raids because I've never run them before. But there's always an expectation that you should always know what you're doing. Speaking of video essays, Dan Olsen, Foldable Human, did a really good video about this called Why It's Bad to Be Bad at World of Warcraft, where it's this awful loop of if you are bad at the game, people get mad at you because the expectation is that everyone going in knows exactly what they're doing. And if you don't, then you're a waste of time. You should have learnt beforehand. Aren't they kind of retooling a single player Final Fantasy? Are they? I'm gonna be honest, that might get me to start playing. Trying to make a script for Kingdom Hearts video, but my autocorrect is telling me Kingdom Hearts isn't grammatically correct. Honestly, if I can fix my problems with scheduling and my sleep issues, I'll start playing Final Fantasy 14 because I'll have time then because I'll be able to schedule my life better. Because my problem at the moment, all my problems are dominoes right now. I see around and say, you come out shocked how chill Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, Matt just said to me, he was like, yeah, everyone's really nice in dungeons until you get to, I think it was Heaven's Sword. It was like, as soon as I got to Heaven's Sword, everyone's really mean in the dungeons. It's like everyone's nice and like welcoming in the early ones, but the second you get to like later ones, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Get out of here. But no, all my problems are dominoes right now. Because it's like, hey, I have problems with my energy. And it's like, well, I have problems with my energy because I'm not getting much sleep. Well, I am getting sleep, but I'm not getting good quality sleep. It's like, why am I getting bad quality sleep? Well, because I technically have mild sleep apnea. And it's like, well, why do I have mild sleep apnea? Because I'm overweight. It is 100% my weight that's causing the problem with sleep apnea. So it's like, okay, well then, you know, lose weight. And it's like, okay, well, what's preventing me from losing weight? And it's like, well, partially a balance of work life, and I don't really enjoy exercise, but also mainly my biggest problem is I overeat. It's not that I eat bad food, it's just that I eat too much food. Because I am so bad at that. I was like, okay, I'll fix that. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, my entire situation gets me down. And when I feel down, eating food helps. Well, it doesn't, but I pretend that it does. It's like, I'm sensing a problem here. The devs and team at Final Fantasy 14 are super vocable, making bad meme players out of space. Yeah. Yeah. Guess I mean that actually works. Eating food doesn't help, but it gives you a reward chemicals because you found food and you won't die another day. Exactly. You gotta get good sleep, your body will compensate the energy loss with calories, e.g. eating more. Exactly! Yeah, generally when I lower how much I eat, my sleep will get better. That's why I'm like, you know, part of the issue is, okay, take it slow. Cut everything down into smaller tasks in order to accomplish it. It's like, okay, my problem is I eat too much. Okay, first problem to resolve that, am I eating 3 times a day properly? Like, doesn't matter if it's good food, bad food, am I just eating at 3 separate times a day? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Am I eating that? Okay, well now that we've got that nailed down, now we start working on, okay, can we eat something better for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I was like, okay. I was like, okay, now we start focusing on trying to eat less. You know, not starve myself, obviously, because that would be a terrible idea. But, you know, don't eat massive portions. Like, okay, we're getting there. Then you do this. Oops, I shouldn't do that. Watch a Mario movie with a girlfriend? Hell yeah. Did you enjoy how boring it is?
Let me take a step at remembering.
Oh, we're so fucking dead.
You broke my concentration. So how about I break you?
Yes, please. I'm also sobbing. Year is it?
The year is 2019.
Oh, thank fuck. This chest was hold. Don't want to join this cult. What?
10th of February. It should be around here. Hades nuts.
Wait, what if I raise this up? Shit.
I always forget how I credit it. It's like, which one do I put in the brackets again? Steam next first.
Chat. Have you watched the live stream on YouTube? Have you seen Super Chat? It's the same as that. Watch the live stream on YouTube.
I guess I'll just put Steam next first because he's not even playing a game here.
I don't have anything else to add to that. I appreciate.
As I rely so heavily on convenience when you eat a lot of fast food, it really screws me up. Finding ways to find home food that's convenient or easy to prepare, so I typically unhook myself from eating out all the time. Yeah, I find the way that helps me is cooking large portions of it so I can put it in the fridge and have leftovers. Of like, okay, if I cook dinner tonight, that's gonna last tonight, tomorrow, and the day after. And it's also accepting that, hey, you need to cut aside at least, you know, half an hour to maybe even 2 hours for cooking, which kind of sucks. But it's an unfortunate fact of life.
Watch the live stream on YouTube.
This one's on guard, if I remember Rec? Huh. Decided I was going to cook every day this week just to see how I can do it. I like cooking, but it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. You show that for lead line? Yeah, hang on. Let me get the...
I was talking to a friend.
No, get back.
Yeah.
Where was it again?
Thanks. Billy, we don't... They set up...
I had an idea. I had a really good idea.
Dad, you fucking bitch!
Was it my idea or great?
Was that even the boss?
He's right here.
The captain is here. Yeah.
Okay.
He's on fire, so.
Alright.
Level 19.
Yeah, I dug it up, but I...
The neck.
Mm-hmm.
Should have finished that thought before I vocal.
It's around here,
My
isn't it?
old username. The first characters were OKHand69.
Oh!
So...
Nice.
I think that's
pretty good.
apt. I can't imagine living in like 19 whatever the fuck and naming your kid Gummo and Zeppo.
Yeah.
The cleanup I hate too. You know what really helped me with the cleanup? Buying like pots and pans that can go in the dishwasher. Buying pots and pans that can go in the dishwasher. I only buy things if they can go in the dishwasher now. Because then after dinner, I can just put it all in there and not have to worry about it. It's like, yeah, using the dishwasher uses a lot more water and power than just doing the dishes yourself. But I'm not at a state in life where I can afford to have the time to just do the dishes for everything on a reliable basis. I ain't got one. I highly recommend trying to get a dishwasher if you can. If not, another thing that helps is looking for one pot recipes. Dishwashers are way more efficient with water. Are they? I seemingly remember. Well, I think it depends on how you do it. Because I remember there are some people who leave their water running the entire time they're doing dishes. And it's like, you're going to use a lot of water that way. Like if you fill up your your sink a little bit and then wash the dishes and then obviously wash off the soap with a little bit of water after, you use less water. Let the robot do your dishes. That's what it's for. Yeah. Because you can absolutely get pots and pans and stuff that are dishwasher friendly. But if you can't, then the next best thing is avoid using that many dishes. So it's like, okay, 1 pot meals. Then you only have to clean 1 pot and maybe a cutting board and a knife. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And there are a lot of really good 1-pot meals. Like soups and shit. Well, those soups use a lot of preparation. Rice and pasta dishes. ¿Por qué no los dos? Exactly. Hand washing cleans way less effectively because dishwashers, yeah, that's true. Depending on how good you are at it as well. Let's say I have stuff with stuck on hard drive food that needs to soak, listen up. I just grab each thing individually from a dry sink basin, get it wet, soap, scrub, rinse, rack. Yeah. Fill it up a third of the way with hot soapy water, plop nasty dishes in there and let them soak, come back later. I only let dishes soak if there's like shit that's caked into it and it's going to be like, try and scrub it and it's not coming off. It's like, okay, pour some hot water on there, let it soak, come back to it, drain it, try again.
Powerful Archmage.
I don't remember what game this is. Is it Leximan? I've adapted to doing one-pot meals and I'm not allowed to let go of this pan until it's in the drying rack, meaning I wash it immediately. Like a mini game where I can't set the motherfucker down. That's a really good way of doing it. Although I remember I used to do that. I used to be like, okay, I have a pan, I've used it, I'm going to wash it immediately. But then someone was like, oh, if you do that, you ruin the non-stick coating or something. Edward 40 hands with a cookie. I can't remember if it was real or not, but it was enough for me to be like, oh, should I not be washing dishes like immediately after? Should I wait for the pan to dry or something? Like, should I wait for the pan to cool down or something? Like, this is a bad thing? I never looked into it. I just stopped using it and would just wash after now. Because I'm a fucking coward. You can warp your pans, but only going from the stove directly into ice cold water. Well, I don't do that. I use hot water. And hot water here is like nearly boiling. Like you turn on the hot tap and you turn it on to maximum, there is steam coming out. It's that hot. And like you can burn your hands. It's that hot. It's kind of insane. Hey, Roy Finn, thanks for the follow. Did you pay for Maxon and all the Red Giant apps? Me? No. Barry? Yes. Barry very kindly lets me use his Maxon account. Because Maxon is bullshit. Use a little bit of oil to wipe down to keep it on stick. Oh, okay. See, I don't know any of these things. I actually had a rant to my therapist the other week because I was like, as a kid growing up, I did not like onions. I did not like onions whatsoever. I couldn't stand them. And it wasn't the taste, it was always the texture of onions. I hated it because my parents would always be like, oh, you can't taste it. You won't notice it's in there. It's like, yes, I will, because I can taste the texture. It's the texture, it's not the flavor. And when I started like properly being able to cook on my own, and fun fact, part of the reason I never cooked myself was because every time I would cook while I was living at my home with my mother and my sister, either A, I would have to clean up after my sister's mess in the sink first. So I'd be like, I'd clean up her mess, do my dish, cook, and then have to clean up my mess. Or I would cook, clean, and then my mother would come along and be like, you didn't do a good enough job cleaning. So I'd be like, great, sure. Finally, I got over that and started cooking myself. And surprise, surprise, I actually like cooking. And I've been using a lot of onions. And I had a rant to my therapist about the fact of like, I hated onions, but it's because like my parents never understood why I didn't like onions and they never adapted around it. And the problem with growing up is you're never taught basic things of like, how to cook. Like there are certain things you're taught, like, maybe you're taught how to fry an egg, but like you'll read recipes and it'll be like, okay, turn it up to a boil and then lower it to a simmer. It's like, okay, boil. I know what that means. What the fuck is simmer? How do I know when something's simmering? And it's like, oh, well, it's slightly bubbling, but it's not boiling. It's like, what does that mean? It's like, I turned down. Is that enough? Do I overcook? Am I overcooking it now? Is it boiling? And it's like all these things that you just don't know. And it's like, no one teaches you. And it's partially because I went to a fucking all boys school that didn't do home ec, even though I really would like to have done it. Why do you have editing pack? Because Barry has it. He has the subscription for it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lifetime license. That would have been great. But no software does lifetime licenses anymore. Because they're smart. business way. Also, what am I doing? This is a completely different game. What game is this? 4 hours, 13 minutes. Mr. Run and Jump. Oh, license the preset. Oh, these? Oh yeah, Barry made this himself. He made this whole preset himself. It was a really smart idea, actually. He made it in After Effects, I believe. Oh, you mean the presets that I have here? Oh, I made these. On the side. Some of these are just basically remakes, but all of these are ones I've made. They just make editing so much easier. Boop, boop. I'm glad you like them. They're made from... Literally, Barry will send me an intro and I'll go, what the fuck am I supposed to do with it? I'm like, put this emote up, do this, this. And then, ta-da, it's an intro. Music has made me want to... Oh, that's in caps. That's not what I wanted. You want to play Spyro? Hell yeah, do it. I get what you're saying about the texture though. When I make braised meat dish, I always strain the onions and other chunks out of the sauce before I serve. Yeah. And the thing is now, I can eat onions. I can eat onions completely. Like, I cook with onions all the time. It's just... Hey, if you cook them... It's like, hey, if you are cooking something and whoever is cooking understands what you like and don't like and works around it, you can actually eat the food. It's like, wow, fascinating. Who'd have fucking thunk it? You find I taste some mushrooms, but God, I hate the texture. Yeah, that's fair. Hey, Bagel, 2 things 7 to 34 months. How you doing?
Onion app. Also why?
Oh, fucking onion. Everybody's sharing their Steam hours played. I'm scared to get home and show my Apex hours. Go for it, Viz. I think we all know your Apex hours are going to be a lot. I've developed a sense of cooking where ingredients are Lego blocks and mostly attached together, and I think I like this and this and this, and this pan is good dinner. That's what I really want to get to. People don't cook the onions down enough a lot of the time. Oh, absolutely. I could take a bite out of a raw onion. I fucking love onions. I don't understand how Dan can do that. I'm like, no thanks. Me do sketches on the last Barry vid, like in the intro with the night moves and all that. The night moves. So with the intros, I only do the intros for the highlights. Anything that's on the highlights with the intro is something I've done. I forget what I did for the intro last month, because that one was really last second. Because I finished the highlights video on like the 8th, and then Barry got back to me like 2 weeks later with like, here's an intro. I was like, well, I've forgotten everything I've done in this.
I was talking to a friend just a moment ago. They were going...
Oh, you mean the main channel? Yeah, no, Barry does everything on the main channel. That's Barry's stuff. I just help out with the highlights so Barry can spend more time.
So much to do.
Barry can spend more time doing these. Because that's what Barry's doing right now. Barry's, well, he should be doing that. From what I understand of Barry, he should be at the office right now working on his update video. But Barry drew all this himself.
Elden Ring is up.
He'll occasionally get some artists to help out, like, but he'll always credit them so you know what they did. Barry, I'm pretty sure, did all the art in his Elden Ring one himself.
Big old beefy game. Treat. So much to do, so much to see, so many was because the blood.
Yeah, it's like the only things he didn't do were the dog illustrations by OnStar. Oh yeah, the Will and Grace! I forgot that made it into the video. I forgot that the fucking Grace. Oh, fuck. I forgot that made it into the fucking final
The
video.
fact that any site of grace becomes a fast travel location adds an extra incentive to find as many as possible, which is no small feat. They can be surprisingly difficult to spot sometimes. I'm genuinely impressed with how it's supplemental
Why is
to
this the
core
most
experience. It's there if you want it, but stays out of your way if you don't. Resources are plentiful, varied, and don't take up much real estate in your brain, and you can quickly slap some items together when you think you might need them. I've taken out many soul-crushing bosses, only to realize after the fact, hey, that probably would have been a bit easier if I used some blank beforehand. There are rarely right or wrong answers, just, do you want this to hurt slightly less? And speaking of pain, combat!
I forget where is the oh, there it is.
Chargeable flasks give you the freedom as an inexperienced player to dip a toe into dangerous waters and not lose resources in the process. As long as you didn't die with a million runes out there, but that's on you. What's really clever in Elden Ring is how they wove this system into the open world. You might be traveling long distances with no grace in sight, or fighting through massive castles without many shortcuts.
I love it because that was a classic example of Barry being like, oh, you know, maybe I'll Photoshop this as a joke in, but obviously implying that he probably isn't going to do it. But because I'm in the call, I'm like, oh, I'm doing that right now. you don't get a say in this. I'm doing this. I believe I still have them here. Are they in my other folder? If they're in my other folder, I don't know where they are. Shit. Oh wait, no, here it is. Barry. It's in the Barry folder. It's Will and Grace. Then it's Will and Tom. Then it's Will and Will. And then it's Will and. God damn it. Made that explosion button for my entire stream. Exactly. I love egging my friends on to do dumb shit. If anything, that's what I want my legacy to be. It's I encourage my friends to do dumb shit. Because it's funny.
Infinite loop. I mean, surely they won't let.
Okay, I need to remember that I need to put sponsored in here. Sonic Origins, is that what it was called? Sonic Origins. Plus. Yeah. Hashtag sponsored stream. Is that how you say sponsored? Sponsored. Huh. That's one of those words that you look at after saying it and spelling it a million times and you're like, that looks weird. Sponsored is a weird word. Oh, hey Chansey, welcome back. Sword. Yeah, exactly. Sword. Weird. Hey Zacatron, how you doing? Oh, see you, Turgle.
Back.
Welcome back, Turgle. Barry's kind of pointing at Turgle? He's more pointing at this dog that just fucked up completely. He's what kind of person mines diamond without an iron pick? You fucking idiot. See you, Turgle.
Oh, you can watch Eggman dance while you listen to jams.
As you should. Welcome back, Turgle. Oh, now he's above Barry. I still posit that Sega decided to sponsor him purely because his adoration of Big the Cat. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Remember that time when the Spyro Reignited trilogy came out? And I spent 3 days without sleeping playing it?
Long, medium, right. Over jump. Whoa.
Did I archive those streams? I think that was back when I wasn't archiving my streams. Which, if anything, gives me an excuse to just stream it all again. No, I didn't. Damn. I love that searching for it comes up with this as one of the results. Into the Dilbert verse. Ugh. Remember when we reclaimed Dilbert? Good times. Done for another 7-2 hour stream. That's when I played Ripto's Rage for the first time and I was sad. I fucking loved Gateway to Glimmer, which is what we non-Americans called it. That was my favorite game growing up, but I could never get past Summer Forest because my disc was scratched. So every time I would beat Gulp, I think his name was, my game would freeze. So I could never get past the first world. And it depressed me so much because like I would go to a friend's house and he had it and I could get to like the second world and I'm like, oh my god, this Autumn Plains looks so cool, dude. This is amazing. There's another world. Oh my god. Oh, this is so cool. And then it was like, there's a third world? What? Maritime. But yeah, because of that, Spyro 3 became my most played. Which, I have problems with Spyro. I like Spyro 3, but it has the same problems that Crash 3 has, in that the second game was an evolution of the first game. Like, they added more mechanics, they refined everything, it was perfect. The third game, they were like, okay, we can add a few more things, but we can't really change much because it's already kind of perfect. So we'll just add a whole heap of mini games that aren't really that fun. I hate it in A Hero's Tale. Spyro A Hero's Tale is one of those games that like is not bad, but the mini games do kind of get annoying, but not as annoying as Spyro 3 in my opinion. Spyro 3, those mini games, some of them don't feel properly balanced. I find the first one's exploratory nature more than mini games, but I still like them all. Yeah. What was it called? Portal Reloaded? Yeah, Portal Reloaded. If I have a display and play my PS2 into, maybe you could put it to HDMI as DisplayPort and instead of a TV. I'm gonna go back and play through Tonalico 1 and 2. Same thing Sly Cooper 3 did. Seems to be a pattern with Sony platformers. I only ever played Sly Cooper 1. Bentley boxing. Yikes. I hate the Bentley boxings. I think everyone hates it. If I remember right, speedrunners hate it too. Well, you saved me time then. I never played Spyro 3. Spyro 3 is genuinely good. It's got some of the best music and some of the best worlds. It's just the mini games are really frustrating. The only mini game in that that's really, really fun every time is the flying mini game. But I remember Agent 9 was really hard as a kid. Like, it was really hard. But as an adult, it's a lot easier because you learn how to strafe. The Bentley minigames exist. I should finish Sly 2. My problem with playing Sly 2 is I remember I tried playing through it, but I was like, because I'm such a completionist, I don't want to miss any of the bottles. But I remember the game was really weird about when you could collect certain bottles. So I was like, I don't know about this. And so I only finished like the first world and half of the second world, I think. But I really should give it a fair chance someday and just say, fuck it. If I miss a bottle, I'll go back later and get it. That's kind of why I like Sly 1. Because it's just like, it's individual levels. And if you miss it, you can just replay the level. I was working through my PS3 troubles mid-playthrough, so I lost my save data. Oof. That was me with Sly A Hero's Tale, actually. Actually, that was me with, so you would know this, Viz. You know how on Ratchet and Clank, the trilogy, there's a trophy for the first game that's earned 1 million bolts. And for the first game, that's really hard to do because there's no multiplayer. I finally earned that trophy, but my dad accidentally wiped the hard drive of the PS3, and I didn't have PS Plus, so I didn't get cloud saving of my trophies. So I lost all of my Ratchet and Clank trophies. And I had to start again. I'm like, man. He accidentally did it because he was transferring everything to a new hard drive because he was upgrading the capacity. And I believe something went wrong, or like the backup didn't work and everything got corrupted or something. But it was just like, man. Was Portal Reloaded really on the 27th? Or was it the 28th? It would have been the 27th. So why is it saying 28? Did Barry just start late?
And we also have very small pint glasses too. Keep filling it up. It's not at the top yet. Keep filling it higher with booze. It's not there yet. Keep pouring, idiot. It's not filled up yet. Keep going. There's more room in the pint glass. Keep pouring.
Love those hack frauds. So why isn't this working? Let me restart my Stream Deck. I love Red Letter Media. Love those hack frauds. I guess we'll go 2027 because it says here that Barry started at 10:30 a.m. my time. EST to PST. Yeah, I don't understand why it's saying that he was on the 28th. It's the 28th for me. I don't understand. That's really weird. I just finished work now. Deserve a pint? Hell yeah. Oh well. Hydrate? I was just about to. Also, if you're terrible, like me, about drinking water, one of the best things you can do is get a giant water bottle. Because I'm one of these people where it's like, oh man, I forgot to drink water. I'll drink the entirety of my water bottle right now. And I was like, oh man, I forgot to drink water. Oh, my water bottle's not filled. I'll go fill it. And then an hour goes by and I haven't refilled it. Just get a big water bottle. Can't drink a big water bottle all at once. I mean, you can try to.
Did it. You know, it's you got. You know, it's you got Phoenix, you got Miles.
Fucking hell.
You know, it's you got Phoenix.
Got Phoenix. I made a new objection. Oh, did you add more to it? Was it the one you did after the stream and you put it in the Discord? Because I did watch it and it was very funny. Forgot I had the stream open. I'm very confused when I started hearing Phoenix rap music. The OST does slap. No, a different one? Oh.
Hold it!
God damn it. This is this is cinema. Fucking hell. I see you notice the sound effects button. Oh fuck, I forgot about... Okay, thank god, this is the first time he's played a DS game. I couldn't see it, my cat blocked it. You know what? Fuck it, we'll watch it again.
Hold it!
Fucking hell. Ace Attorney. Want to voice this? Please. Need to go back in time. Yeah, the fact that it just holds on it forever. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Let me just double check that I've got that correct. I do. Okay. Jesus. If you haven't seen this video, it's a very important video. By the one and only DJ Doggy 9. Every fucking time. Okay. You know what? It feels appropriate that the first clip in Ace Attorney is by Lesbian B. Actually, you know what? In spirit of Spyro 3, let's skip straight to the Spyro 3 OST. I really need to get around to making that other emote. Because it's a really good emote idea. I just need to do it and figure out when I'm gonna do it. I also need to just pull my fucking head out of my ass and just not worry about emote slots and just make emotes and then just like, I don't know, temporarily put emotes on Beach TV or whatever. And then maybe I'll get rid of them and put them on if I ever hit partner. Barry plays the sequel. I cannot wait until he gets to the clown case. Ah, yes, clown case. I think Barry will play at least the next two. I don't know if I'll play the Apollo Justice ones, but he will leave a large gap because these games are hell on your fucking voice. Is that an F? It is an F. It's Agent of Chaos. Never played that game, but I do know that moment. Yeah, I know that moment because it was all over Twitter randomly. I don't know, why was it all over Twitter? It just suddenly was all over Twitter. I was showing my friend Objection Maker and me and him like that one animation. If he does, I'll have to play the Apollo ones too. I've only played the first 3 games. I know Ray played the series a few years ago, maybe that played a part. Clossy trending? Yeah, Clossy was trending. Why do you just click things, Gam? Because I have too much trust in the people that are in my chat. That's why. Well, you're a sucker. Okay. What, do you want me to not click on links anymore? I mean, if you want, I'll stop clicking on the links that everyone gives me. Have I ever talked about... I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but one of my favorite speedrun things to watch is Sprash Vectors, which, if you've never heard of it, it's a marathon of the first 3 Sparrow games and the first 3 Crash games. 100%. Usually it's like a 100% version of it. Sometimes they'll do any percent, but any percent is a lot quicker. But it's like 7 to 9 hours long. It's always such a good time. I just said Afterglow, Afterglow. I'm so sorry, Afterglow and Forest. Gam can't click this. It's a video. Fuck you. Oh, I have seen this.
Will the defendant rise? Mr. Eisner, you stand before this court of law accused of the crime very clearly caught on the security camera moments ago.
Oh, this is just for that? I thought this had something to do with the school bus full of children I set on fire.
Shut the fuck up. Objection!
Nothing's happened yet.
Sorry, I got excited. It's just, this is the most clear-cut, cut and dry, open and shut, copy and paste cock and balls case I ever did see. I don't even know why the defendant and Mr. Edgeworth even bothered showing up, other than to make a mockery of this courtroom. Now that's just out of order. Wrong. If it were out of order, it'd be wrong. I gotta see. Edgeworth's cock and balls even—
Right! Stop. Shut up. Make your opening arguments to the jury.
All right. Where the hell is the jury? Making jury duty! Whatever. I'd like to call my first witness to the stand. Miss Gail Tornado.
Yep, I noticed that the word percussion I use.
Actually, you're right. I think it was this video.
I've got a bad case of clussy fever, and I want to make whoopee with her cushions.
Order, Mr. Edgeworth! Order!
I order Miss Tornado to put her butt, her whole butt, and nothing but her butt on my face.
Oh.
Objectifying. So, Mr. Eisner, you maintain your innocence?
Yeah, that's why the class.
Well, I spoke to an old teacher of yours, and she said you were quite the troublemaker.
Splash factor. Yeah, 642%. 11 hours. Splash factors are great. They're so calming and relaxing to watch. It's 6 games, so it does take a while. I believe they've started doing splash factors with the new ones. I believe. But this is why I would love to learn the speedruns for them, to do a randomized shuffle, because that would be so much fun. Talking about everyone in that case being a certain character and it being very uncomfortable, yeah. Anything ending with Ussy summons lewd lime, that's true. Any percent is, yeah, only about 4 hours. Oh yeah, Matt and I finished watching What We Do in the Shadows. So we're ready for season 5 in a few days. And holy shit, it gets pretty good. I wouldn't say it's an amazing show, but it is pretty good. It gets better as time goes by. The first season's a bit rough. Especially if you like Naja. Naja is great, but in the first season, all she does is talk about how much she loves a man. And do stuff around it. Even Sussy Barker? So did you play Cruelty Squad? I recommend it. It's a very good game. That is very hard to get into and understand because of the type of game it is and the type of artist who created it. I still would love to do some type of shuffler. Randomized shuffler someday. Problem is, I don't have many games that I'm good at speedrunning. Hell, I'm not even that great at speedrunning Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm actually pretty bad at it. Wait. I keep having a conversation with Barry about, like, especially when he plays like Phoenix Wright and everything, about like, yeah, people keep asking me to play Danganronpa, and I'm like, I probably won't. And I'm like, yeah, please. Let me tell you right now, Barry, you are going to hate Danganronpa. Chat will have a lovely time with you playing it, but you will hate it. You will not have fun playing this game. Yeah, it's a time, and chat will just spoil everything and be very annoying, and will have infighting with each other at certain points. It's not worth it. Need a shuffle thing for all the versions of Super Mario World? God, that would be crazy. Just doing like all the... Imagine doing like a Kaizo shuffle. God. Speedrun Sonic 06, but every time you fall through the floor, it switches to Sonic Spitball. I hate Danganronpa so much. I really like Danganronpa, but I think it's a terrible stream game for certain people. And I know for a fact Barry will not have a fun time playing it. Because of the way Danganronpa is structured and the way chat gets around certain things. Like certain puzzles and stuff. Chat won't be able to help themselves. They'll try and spoil and lead Barry on to do certain things, and Barry will get frustrated with certain puzzles being very, very dumb. And not fun dumb like Phoenix Wright, but just dumb. I'm sad he might not play Danganronpa, but I don't want Barry to have a bad time. Yeah. If I thought Barry would have a good time playing Danganronpa, I'd tell him to do it, but I'd be like, make sure you're able to have mods in chat that are able to prevent spoiling. But I genuinely don't think Barry will have a good time playing it, unfortunately. Because like you said, he was like, he watched a bit of me playing it and was like, yeah, this doesn't look like it's for me. Especially as the series goes on. I think Barry would... If Barry streamed Ultra Despair Girls, I think it would make him stop streaming altogether. Like, I think that would be enough for him to go, I don't want to play a video game ever again in my life. Is that... Sure is a video game, apparently. I think my first stream I remember of yours was Danganronpa 2. I'll get around to Danganronpa V3 eventually. One day. I promise. No promises. Ultra Despair Girls really left a bad taste in my mouth. I see why people like the series, but it's everything I hate compressed into video games. Yeah, that's fair. I completely understand it. I understand why people don't like Danganronpa. Completely understand it. And I understand why people do like Danganronpa. I don't understand why people like Ultra Despair Girls. I did watch you play that. I did play it. That was, what, 2 years ago? Thereabouts? Same with Ace Attorney. I think I'd like to do Ace Attorney, but the problem for me is I like watching Barry do it and editing it, so I already know all the twists and stuff. I haven't done the second and third game. I don't know anything about them other than the clown and the twist with the clown. I don't know anything about the Apollo Justice other than Phoenix Wright becomes homeless or something. I don't know. Ace Attorney is fun for me to watch and my cup of tea to play. Yeah. Don't twist the clown. Twist the clown. Come twist the clown. Does have a certain anime manga tropes that I don't care for, but I appreciate it just for its pure zaniness. Yeah. Which is part of why I like Danganronpa. I just wish it was more clear about what its rules are. Because Danganronpa has very zaniness and fantastical sort of realism to it. But it's never entirely clear of what the rules are of its world. About like, you know, is there magic in this world? No. Okay, so there's no magic. But it's like, yeah, well, there's this in there. And it's like, oh, you know, this is that. So it's not fully realistic. But it's like there's a stretch. But because you don't fully know, you don't know what's on the tables. Like, you don't know, like, oh, could the answer to this case be this? It's like, no, that's too outlandish. It's like, that's not part of the rules. But it's like, oh, well, you know, is it this? And it's like, well, yeah, sure. It's crazy enough that it just might work. That's what frustrates me the most about Danganronpa. It's never consistent with its world. Plus, Danganronpa is everything... I was saying this with Barry the other day. Everything people say about Kingdom Hearts, about like, you know, light and darkness. It's like, all they ever say is light and darkness. What they say about that, they're actually meaning Danganronpa with hope and despair. Because I don't think Danganronpa knows what hope and despair actually are. They just like repeating those words over and over again. To the point where, when we were playing it, we had a fucking counter of how many times they would just say the words hope and despair. It was like Kingdom Hearts, light and darkness have purposes. They have meaning. And meaning that actually comes into play in the plot. But Danganronpa, hope and despair, it's like, it's all outside the text. It's like, you know, this all has everything to do with things that happened outside this story or at the very end of the story. There's no story about hope or despair through it. It's like, oh, maybe the first game you could argue that it does. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can understand that. But the second game, not really. Not really. Hell, I don't even know about the third game. All I know about V3 is that it is very controversial. It's like some people either love it or hate it. And I'm like, I'm excited to figure out which one I am. The ending of 1 just made me more mad. it didn't make me mad. It made me like, oh, okay. Okay, I guess. I really dig the art style. I love the art style, and the music is bop. I should add it to my rotation of music that I listen to while I'm streaming. That'd be a good idea. Danganronpa related video. I've yet to play the third one. Same.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I know she stabbed him with a knife.
But can you spell the word knife?
Yes.
In this fun game?
I guess. I need the letter K.
Make sure you pick the right letters.
I need the letter K.
And if different letters touch, they explode.
There is no K
You
here.
get to make a comic book after this.
Yeah, that's kind of also the big problem with Danganronpa. The actual game does not blend with the story at all. That's why Danganronpa is a lot more fun to watch someone play it than play it yourself. And that's why I said to Barry, Ace Attorney, the actual game where chat can give you hints and everything, chat can give Barry hints on like, hey, go to this place and maybe use this item. And it's like, okay, well, you know, but then we can get back to the game. It's like the small puzzle. That's not the whole part of the game. Because part of the game is also the case itself where, you know, you have to decide, you know, what statements you want to refute and use evidence in that. And then Barry can do that himself. But Danganronpa is more of a visual novel than like a puzzle game, I want to say. Which I believe it says itself that it's more of a visual novel, but it's like the games in Danganronpa don't. The only games that make sense are the truth bullets ones. Those are ones that make you actually think and engage with the case. Where it's like, okay, what part of this statement is wrong? Like something they said just is wrong, and I know why. What is it? And I got to shoot the word to do it. Sometimes though that is complete bullshit. But the other ones where it's like, now we're surfing to find a certain word, or would spell a certain word this way, or do that. It's like, why? This feels like they're just like, what should we do? We should think of something. Think of a game. It's like, why not make something that is conducive to the story? I don't know. And so it's like, if it's like, chat can't help Barry with those mini games. Those are mini games that Barry can do on his own. But if chat, like, the way I put it to Barry was like, the mini games of Ace Attorney, of like between cases where chat helps out Barry a little bit here and there, is essentially what would happen with Danganronpa. It's like those are analogous to what Danganronpa's actual story is, whereas the cases in the actual courtroom of Ace Attorney is not comparable to Danganronpa at all, because like it's just not that good. Bone on the meat, exactly. Like some of the biggest memes of Danganronpa are how kind of bad the game is at being a game. Which is not me saying that Danganronpa is a bad game. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's lasted this long for a myriad of reasons. But for Barry, it's not going to be a good experience. Seems afraid to be a visual novel. Oh yeah, absolutely. Remember when it became a third-person action shooter? That seemed to be ashamed that it was a third-person action shooter. I think it's terrible. I will not shut up about how much I hate it. I'll shut up now. The thing to me is that Danganronpa is like, I can see what Danganronpa could be. It's like I can see the really great game hiding in there, hiding inside a pretty okay game. Like I can see the slight changes here and there that would have made it perfect, like an amazing must-play game for everyone. But it's not that game. It's just I can see that game inside there. 999 or the other Zero Escape games seem more like Barry could tolerate. Yeah, which I'm not 100% sure as well, because Barry said that people are recommending those as well. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. I don't know if he'll ever stream the 999 or the other nonary games. He probably won't, but maybe. Maybe I'll stream them first and tell him if, if he'll enjoy it or not. That's spelt wrong. I wouldn't recommend them, just that he could tolerate them. Yeah. I don't trust chat with games like those. Yeah, neither do I. That's the biggest problem, is like, it's twofold. It's like, A, will Barry actually enjoy playing this? And B, will chat behave themselves while he streams it? Ace Attorney's kind of proven that chat is sometimes okay. If anything, at the moment, chat's a little bit overboard. Like, some people are spoiling stuff or overly hinting, but then chat kind of goes a little bit overboard, and is like, the second someone says anything, they're like, put us in emote only, put us in emote only. It's like, you don't really need emote only. It's fine, guys. It's fine. We need a Gam explains Danganronpa to Barry. Well, the problem is I barely understand Danganronpa myself, and I have no love for Danganronpa. I hate the lore of Danganronpa is the worst aspect of it, in my opinion. Like, Jesus, it's the worst offender when it comes to the what are the rules of this world. I think you'd like the Edgeworth spin-offs, if at least you make him run around. Maybe. Everything's fucked and it doesn't make sense. It just is. Yeah. It just is because despair. Things are like this because despair. Ultimate despair. The most tragic, awful moment to ever happen in history. Which, spoilers, is not really awful. You fucking write yourself into a corner there. Like the ultimate despair, girl. Danganronpa in a nutshell. I'm 12 and this is deep. Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It really is the I'm 12 and this is deep. But man. It's all about hope, man. Like, hope in ultimate despair. That's so deep, bro. It's like, really not. I'm glad you're getting something out of it, but it's really not. There's a clip missing in here. What? Oh, that's right. This is actually the same stream. Barry just lost the stream. I've not seen much of Danganronpa story, but it feels like it has 6 different premises out of the gate. Danganronpa 1. If only Danganronpa 1 existed, I would say it is pretty good. It has a pretty good world. But then Danganronpa 2 and Ultra Despair Girls came out, and they made the horrible mistake of going, hey, this unexplained thing that we left unexplained for a reason, because it didn't need to be explained, and it was explained, it was brought up in a way of, this is a concept that is never going to be elaborated on and is never going to be seen. they went, hey, what if we elaborated on that? And it's like, now it retroactively makes Danganronpa 1's world less good, which is disappointing. Also, the fact that they keep contradicting themselves about what they want to fucking write. Again, I can see something very good in there in Danganronpa, but not in its state. I'm excited to play the new game, the non-Danganronpa one. That'll be interesting. See what that's like. I forget what it's called. Lenny Leonard Kodaka kind of sucks at world building. Yep. The police station one, I think it is. I forget. It was at E3. Well, the non-E3. You know what I mean. Raincoat. Yeah. I was like, that? It's a fresh start, so maybe they've learnt their lessons from Danganronpa. Although, let's be honest, probably not. Also, I was really disappointed by Komeda. This whole time building up to him, it's like, oh, hey, this character I've seen all over the place on like Twitter and Tumblr and stuff, and like, you know, always jokingly with Sans, like he's clearly some sort of meta character, and it's like, oh, what? That's it? That's it? He's just... Oh, okay. I thought there was more to this. It's just, I guess a lot of people with headcanons and writing, filling in the writer's bullshit. Raincoat seems to have decently positive reviews at least, so that's good. Then again, so did Ultra Despair Girls, if I remember right, for a while. Did I ever write a review of Ultra Despair Girls? Yeah, Danganronpa's 9 out of 10. Ultra Despair Girls. 9, very positive. What was my review? Multiple cutscene art styles clash like going between a budget anime to a high school fan MMD project to low resolution classic stylistic animatics. I forgot I said that. The gameplay is abysmal, enemy AI is a fucking joke, the bullets are practically meaningless because you'll rarely run out of bullets / batteries. The puzzles for the most part are either pretty decent to laughably awful and rushed. The controls are shit. The whole port is a disaster with visual settings just not existing, subtitles not existing. Then there's the story, fucking hell. Some others explain it better in their reviews, but the game starts out shaky already, then nosedives and flatlines at chapter 3 and never recovers. Writers think they're juggling the tones perfectly and handling the heavy topics of abuse and child molestation well, but they're really fucking not. Do not buy this game, even if you like Danganronpa, just look at the wiki instead. Fuck this game. Yep. I stand by that. I stand by that. It has lesbians in it. So that means it's a good game, though. You know what? Actually, it has lesbians in it, so it's a good game. Everything else is fine. Danganronpa fans are not... And here's the thing, the lesbians, good, but the rest of the game does not... lesbians does not redeem a game. Just because a game has... even then, they're not like... they're not actually canon lesbians. But just because, you know, it has a ship in it, or even subtle representation, does not mean it's good. It's like, oh, it's meant to be edgy. It's like... there's a difference between, like... they're not being edgy for the sake of being edgy. They're being edgy and thinking they're juggling the tones. Like, oh, this is gonna shock people. It'll be amazing. It'll shock them into our, you know, our story about abuse and, you know, overcoming abuse. And it's like, yeah. No, I stand by that. And I always have the opinion of, listen, everyone is entitled to their opinions. If you like a thing I don't like, that's fine. If I like a thing you don't like, that's fine. And vice versa. If I hate a thing you like, that's fine. If you hate a thing I like, that's fine. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. But if you're someone who likes and defends Ultra Despair Girls, you are not allowed to have that opinion. I refuse to let you have that opinion. Same with Atlas, maybe worse. I wouldn't say worse. I'd say the same problems, but on a smaller scale. Atlas at least, I don't want to say tries, because it's mainly the translation team that fixes a lot of the problems. Atlas has a lot of different problems for a lot of different reasons. Some you could argue are cultural. I would say that's a cop-out. The thing to me is, like, take Persona 5, for instance. It forever annoys me that Anne's story goes the way it does. Because you have this her entire thing is about, you know, her friendships and her story. What her story should be is her taking charge of her womanhood and her sexuality. Not in a case of like, I can have sex with anyone I want, but her growing and enforcing the principle that it is my body, I decide what I do with it, not anyone else. That should be her story, because that's what they set her up for. An empowerment story about her doing what she wants and not allowing anyone else to wrestle control from her. But then they just don't do that and then decide to go backwards halfway through the game on it. It's dumb. Hey, Nasty Crime Boy, thanks for following. How you doing? Alright, Persona 5 has a lot of its own problems. Part of it due to the rushed nature of the game. Cough, cough, Dungeon 3. No, Dungeon 4, sorry, not Dungeon 3. Got into Guilty Gear and then they had the two characters canonically transitioned. Guilty Gear, I'm always like, oh cool, Guilty Gear. Hell yeah. Love those character designs. Love that representation. I'm probably never going to play it because I don't like fighting games, but fuck yeah. I hate games where they feel like they initially set up an arc and then fucking drop the ball because higher up fingers and pies or something. It's either higher up have fingers and pies or it's written by a straight man. It's like, hey, you accidentally have like started a really good arc for a woman character, but you're a straight man and you probably didn't even realize that you started that, and you're just going to use the female character to be ogled and used as an object, aren't you? Whatever. And like the fact we spent an entire chapter of the game speaking on the evils of perversion, and then in the very next chapter the guy's basically forced Anne to strip and it's played as a joke. It's funny, isn't it? And again, they could have used that as a very good way to reinforce Anne's growth from the first castle, the very first like chapter of hers. Her own palace. You could have used that as an emphasis that she has grown and she's more comfortable and she's in charge, but they didn't. They went backwards and were like, tee-hee, get naked, but I don't wanna. We're men, you do what we say. Oh, okay. If anything, it would have been a funny inversion to, for her to... There's many different ways you could have done the scene. First of all is not do it. One way you could have done it is her basically be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then, but she doesn't. What she does is she basically forces Joker to do it in a way where it's like, hey, I'm teaching you a lesson about like, hey, like, don't do this. Like, it's not like, do you understand now why this is a bad thing to like force some people, like even as a joke? I don't think it would have been good because it's Atlas. I don't think they could have handled it well. Again, a lot of things in Persona 5 could have been done a lot better. But they weren't. Wow. Oops. That's not the number. Guilty Gear is a game series where Daisuke Ishibatari got to go all in on his own season world. We love when people have full control. When they're good at writing. Don't like Ken Pendleton or anything. Huh.
I got my career's over. No further questions, Your Majesties. I'm going to shit in all of your desks on the way to dropping off my goddamn resignation letter to HR.
God damn. Can we do a Persona 1, make them 5 years older, please? Persona.
Beth dropped this and I showed it on stream. Everyone was like, no, this is accurate. When Beth dropped this and I showed it on stream, everyone was like, no, this is accurate.
It's true. I mean, it is accurate too. Hey, all the credits are done. Hell yeah. I love it when credits are done. Now I just need to do all the little dumb edits. What have we got here? How many? I don't think we have many markers. No, not many markers. God damn it. Push it all here. And also for the clipping.
Ooh,
Albatross?
Yeah. Nicely
Look at
done.
you.
Yeah,
that is a bird. Wow, yeah.
We love to see birds in golf.
Evangelion is a show about a boy whose father loves him, and that's all you need to know. Eagle's pretty good.
These runners may say
I'm gonna turn the audio down on these a little bit.
complete non sequiturs at times.
Oh, no.
These are all time saves. These are all
They
strats.
do make sense
They're
to us.
strats. Yeah. Are they
There you go.
superstitions? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Light Yagami's last name is spelled backwards is I am gay. I'm a gay. You mean? I love Nicole's evil line because it's I love Barry was perfectly on the draw here of just like, hey, these runners will say complete fucking random shit at times. You're just gonna have to get used to it. It'll just happen. Weep, weep, weenie. Let's go say hi to Dan, who's conveniently playing some Final Fantasy 16. He's doing his first playthrough. Oh yeah, looks like he's 5 hours in by the looks of it, I think. Unless he's been playing more than I thought he has. We'll end it here. I'll see you all Thursday, where I might do some final editing if I can't do it tomorrow. I will try the best I can. But Thursday will be shorter because it's D&D as well. So don't forget D&D. Yeah, the tech tape. Yeah, I do have that in there. Like, should we cut the Tom's mic? Thursday is D&D, so you have a few days to catch up if you haven't watched the last few D&Ds. It's episode 14 now. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. we're going in, and we're starting immediately with combat, terrifying combat, which could go on for a very long time or end very quickly, depending on how well we roll. Especially me, because I have an idea of what I want to be doing. But raid message for Dan is how's the dumpin'? And if you have cause I dumpin', use that. If you have cause I'm dumpin'. How's the dumpin', Dan? See you all later.